we're at student services now.
Okay, we are now at item 17, student services. And I'm gonna ask up front if anybody feels there's any motion that we will need to pull. This will be a voice vote. But the motion will be to approve SS 2526-001 to SS 2425-0007. Voice vote, does anybody wants to pull any motions? Okay, we'll entertain a motion to approve those.
Motion, Mock. Second, Bratz.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, under item 18, technology and innovation services, no, nothing on the agenda, unless there's anything we need to add.
Everyone loves Stephen for that.
Thank you, Stephen. School board. Okay, Dr. Conway,
Yeah, would you like me just quick?
you want to talk through this a little bit?
Yeah, so just the first three items, I spoke to 19A about a reminder for the self-assessment. For those who did take it, would anyone just like to share how long it took to take it? Yeah.
It took me 10 minutes to take it.
10 minutes,
and
okay.
I did and made comments in about every section. And not that I want to address this, but I do think this board's desire would be to, when it's all said and done, have some document that the admin could read and the public would have. So the point of you asking us to do this is not for us just to do an assessment and keep it completely to ourselves. We should be able to make that a public document saying what we believe we're weak in and what our plan is to fix it, much like the 28, the 28-point plan or 28.
Comprehensive plan.
Yeah, that she talked about. So you want to address those. So I think it's a great exercise. It wasn't hard to do, and there is a free form area for everything.
Awesome.
You said somebody will be to speak with us about it?
Yes, so I have PSBA coming, Aaron Todd will be coming to review the results in executive session. And then at that time, the board can decide what to create, what to make public, things like that.
That would be my expectation, that we'd want to do something.
That email probably came a week ago.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
the link to it in case you missed it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just press on the link, it's very easy to do, and you're right, it took me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And if anyone has struggles accessing technology, you're more than welcome to come here and we'll set up a computer for you to do it here. So just let me know. I know we already have one appointment that Steve and I need to talk to you about, and there might be a second one. So just let me know, and I can make arrangements for that. 19B, literally it's just the comprehensive plan. I just needed to put it there because it'll be approved under the school board. So we already talked about that. And then the third item is the PSBA officer elections. And the attachment has, and Stephen, if you wouldn't mind opening that one up for me. This has which officers are up for election for the 20 to 26 year for PSBA. And in working with Dr. Flight earlier this week, or last week, we will have motions for each of these officer votes, of which, for instance, President-elect, the board collectively will vote either for Holly Arnold or collectively abstain. So there'll be a motion that will be created that'll say, which of the two would you want the board to vote for President-elect? And we do a roll call. You say Holly Arnold or abstain, and at the end of the day, whoever has the most then gets that that vote. And then this information sheet has, if they provided it, a video interview so you can hear from the candidates, and some actually did written introductions of themselves as well. So I pulled this all off of the ballot, created this separate Word document, saved it as a PDF, so you had access to it. The only one that is really is a contest is section W3. So Stephen, if you just want to go to that one, section W3, go up a little bit. You are to vote for 1 out of 3. So two being people, a third one being the abstention. So all of those links, I tested them all, they should all work for you. We'll just be prepared for you all to vote during the September meeting. And then soon after that, Dr. Fike and I will create an appointment, and then Dr. Fike will be the one that will go online to do the selection as the board secretary. So Dr. Fike, did I miss anything?
No.
Okay.
And that's section 3. I thought you said there were 2 candidates. You're saying there's 3.
Well, 2 candidates and
And
abstaining.
abstain. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought it was 2 candidates.
There's 3 choices.
yeah.
3 choices, 2 candidates.
So, okay, so, all right, thank you, Mr. Leonard, for letting me go over those 3 items. So, you can feel free to move on to the next motions.
Well, that would be motion SB 2526 001 to 002. It'd be a voice vote.
We need a motion.
We have a motion.
Make that motion, Tillman.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second, Bogelli.
We have a motion, a second, all in favor, aye?
I have a question, Dallas. Which of those were, I guess, for the attorney, were any of those mandated?
Talking about under 19,
Under 21?
21.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
Yeah,
Hold
that-
on,
we're-
hold on, let me get there.
We're on 19.
202 is,
Well, threat assessments, you are required by law, probably back in 21 for threat assessments, behavior
That's
support. All of these should be approved as they are listed there, 113.1, 113.2. Policy, comply with state law.
okay.
Yes, to answer that question, yes. And PSBA does put out, as you all know, they have legally required, recommended, and they have a 3rd category.
I wasn't sure what these were.
Yes.
So, Tammy, did we record a vote for 001 and 002, or are we still at the motion and second phase?
We had a motion and a
We
second.
have a motion, second.
So
We didn't do a voice
All
vote.
in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, now, item 20, policy news, PNN update.
Yeah, and if I may, so on the agenda manager, open to the board, you can see then the newsletters that are created by PSBA. Currently, for the board members, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 newsletters. Each of those have policies that PSBA has recommended revisions to. And what we are doing tonight is the first reads of the first PNN, and then another one which I'll explain here from another PNN. So our goal is to kind of work through the PNNs and get back on track in terms of updating the policy. So just wanted to let you know that that's always there for you to see. And then when it's, it'll be removed once we've gone over the policies that were addressed in that particular newsletter. So thank you, Mr. President, for letting me explain that.
Okay, is there any other questions under 21?
So with 21, if you would allow me, I have up here for the board 5 first readings for your consideration for voting next month. What I will start doing for the board is I will quote what it says in the newsletter when it comes to recommended, mandatory, or optional. So for instance, 005, you'll see, quote, policy 005 is recommended to assist with implementing consistent standards for the organization meeting. So I will always copy and paste what it says in the PNN, so you can see it right here with that policy. Also, I want to share with you that the board did pass 005 board operating guideline number 3, policy committee of the whole procedures, of which the board spent considerable time discussing and going through. I will always have that there to remind you what the procedure is, so you don't have to search for what has to be done and things like that. So it explains how to submit comments, what my responsibility is then to collate all those responses for the board's review, and then what happens when it comes to the second read. So that's always going to be there for you. That way you don't have to search for it. And so that's basically what I wanted to talk about, the structure of this section. It'll always have a list, PNN, and then the committee of the whole procedures with that. Mr. Leonard, may I go on to make a comment about the first read of 005 organization?
It's fine.
All right, so Stephen, if you don't mind, can you open that up so the public can see this as well? All right, so in meeting with Mr. Leonard, in late July, as well as in August, we were looking at attendance at our board meetings, as well as attendance at committee meetings. And as a cabinet meeting, we've talked about the effectiveness of the committee meetings and how they're organized. And so we started to brainstorm in, okay, if we were going to recommend a reconfiguration of committees for the board, what would make sense? And Stephen, if you scroll down to the end of page 3, beginning of 4, what we would recommend, and Mr. Leonard gave me permission to put this up as a first read, is instead of having the committees that we have now based on the teams, of which we've added team now, we recommend that the board be organized by 3 committees: 1 operation, 2 innovation, and 3 student programs. And the natural team alignment to that would be operations, would be Tammy and financial services. That also includes buildings and grounds. And also Stephen when it comes to technology and the backbone and the servers and things like that. So that's a natural kind of the 2 of them, assisting with that community. The next one, innovation, I would see that it would be Dr. Cunningham with curriculum and professional learning, because that's where we need to continue to innovate, as well as Dr. Henderson being our educational enterprise services director. So it kind of makes sense to have that there. Now that doesn't mean that sometimes Stephen may not need to contribute or be part of or help with, because innovation is part of his title. So there are times where a director may go to another committee to help out or talk about something. And then the third one would be student programs, and naturally that would be Drs. Stragan and Dr. McGee to assist the board in those areas. So we believe that kind of better matches the board's direction of going with the business strategy framework. It better aligns with how we're organized as a cabinet to be able to assist the board when it comes to things like this. So it's up for first read, and obviously you have time to make comments and things like that, and it'd be under your consideration in September with that. I would recommend to the board that if you are going to consider and would be supportive of reconfiguring, because having 3 committees versus 4 is going to help with attendance as well, that we would cancel the September committee meetings, because why run them if you're going to reconfigure? But we'll still run them if you want to, in the old configuration, we can still do that. But I just throw that out there if the board is going to approve, a different configuration such as this, to cancel the September committee meetings. And then the next time we have committee meetings would be November, because we do those 4 times a year. But that doesn't mean you can't do them more if that group wants to get together more and discuss and dig deeper into the issues. I know the cabinet team is more than willing to meet anytime the committees want to meet to be supportive. Okay, so Mr. Leonard, I believe that covered everything that we talked about in late July and into August when it came to committee meetings.
So does anybody have any comments or questions regarding that, what we just discussed as far as September committee meetings versus November with the new configuration. Anybody have an objection, any heartburn about it? So we'll move forward trying to get that fleshed out for November then. Fair enough?
Thank you, Mr. Blair.
Okay. We are now down to item 22, board policy administration regulations. And these, pretty good list, they're listed for informational purposes and do not require board approval. There are attachments, obviously, you have to be getting them out right on the printed document. If there's any questions or any comments regarding those many attachments.
And you'll continue to see a pretty healthy list just because of the PNNs also come out with ARs because we have subscribed to that service as well. So as we begin to update policies, then the administrative team will then be able to begin to update the administrative regulations that go with that. And then they're placed here for your review so you can see them.
For lack of a better word, we're playing a little bit of catch up. Maybe that's the proper term. Okay, moving right along, item 23, board policy, board operation guidelines, first read, we have none. Item 24, now we'll come back to comments by the citizens and Mrs. Stacy Bojack, do you have any further comments or things you'd like to share with us?
I do.
Okay.
You know what, Steve, it's okay, I think I can speak loud enough. For those of you who don't know me, I know you're new, I'm Stacy Bojack, I am the current WIU Education Association President. I want to thank you all for taking my hounding into consideration and implementing the board assessment and reflection. I have, it demonstrates your willingness to own your successes and your failures, but without transparency, trust erodes. And once that trust is lost, it's very difficult to rebuild, let alone get back. And so I have one question because I do not know if this has been included on your assessment, but I'm very interested to know the answer. I don't expect an answer tonight. You can reflect on it and I'll ask it again next month. But I would like to know, how does this board intend to hold itself accountable when mismanagement or inaction leads to harm, whether that harm is financial, operation, and or human on a personal level? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, do we have any comments by WIU board director?
Yeah, I have one comment, Alice.
Sure.
4-hour meeting is completely untenable. And it's just shouldn't happen month in and month out. Admin, the executive committee of this board needs to figure out a way to get these board meetings done and present the right information that we can get in and out of here in a couple hours. I just think that sitting here from 6 o'clock till 5:30, from 6 o'clock till 10 is just a ridiculous amount of time to spend on this. And I think we need to figure out a way to streamline this, at least temporarily, until we work past some of these heavy issues and get done with it.
Well,
I
very
just
much
encourage-
open to suggestions. I appreciate your comments. I do come up here during the month and try to be informed properly so I can help keep the meetings moving along. But there's things beyond my control that come up. So if there's any suggestions about how we can use the time more wisely in these meetings, I'm open to suggestions for that. Is there any other comments by the members? No? Well, I guess maybe we could entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second, Tillman.
Thank you.